The tea is about to be spilt. Hello, if you're new, which you most likely are, hit the subscribe button and the bell for future videos. But today, we're going to be talking about, oh, I've got a really red eye, not attractive. We're going to be talking about what you need to know before to uni and what I wish I knew before I went to uni. And the reason why I'm standing up is because I look even worse when I'm sitting down. Instead of planning this out, I'm just going to go through a Google search, because that's what I feel like a lot of first years would do. That's what I did as well. And I'm going to tell you what I think of that from my experience. And yeah, just tell you my own little lessons that I learned. I don't like planning stuff. I feel like it's just too scripted. So I found this one. There's 63 things students wish they'd known before starting uni. I'm not going to go through all 63. I'll go through the important ones. So buckle up. The tea is about to be spilt. Okay, let's start with a little juicy one. It says, don't be afraid of getting with people. Even if it's just a freshers fling. People aren't judgmental at university. This goes for virgins too. No one will care and make fun of you. Just be as sociable as possible. I agree with this. Don't feel any pressures to do anything like that. Every single person that comes to uni has a different life experiences. There will be lots of virgins, there'll be lots of sexed up people. But yeah, just do not worry about this. You haven't got to go crazy and get with people, but if you want to, you can as well. A lot of people do because it's sometimes their first time away from home. So they go a bit crazy, you know, the numbers rack up, if you know what I mean. Don't panic if you're not a massive party animal or drinker. It isn't the be all and end all of university life, so don't make a big deal out of it. Just be yourself and don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Yeah, I completely agree with this. It's not all about drinking. There's actually quite a big chunk of people who don't like to do that. Obviously, I'm not one of them, but I had friends that are. Friendship and your experience doesn't rely on alcohol. You can actually go out and not drink. One, I'm really jealous of you. So if you don't want to go out full stop, that's fine. There's enough daytime activities. There's socials, there's sports, there's your flatmates, there's your course mates. You'll meet them in the day. People don't like that and they're not on board with it. They're not a friend anyway. Don't feel pressurised to do that, because if you put pressure on yourself to be someone that you're not, it's just not going to go well. So I definitely did meet a lot of people on nights out. But do I remember them? No. I've got loads of Snapchat friends and Instagram people. I don't know who they are. It also says, anyone who tries to force you to do anything you don't feel like doing isn't going to make a very good friend. Very true. But you've got to remember, everyone is still quite immature when they get to uni. Like, I was a completely different person when I started compared to now. And I look back and I'm just a little bit like, oh. You have to be a little bit forgiving as well. It says it's your life and you should live it your way. That goes for everyone else too. Don't be judgmental of other people's choices, accept them as they are. This is just what I was thinking, and that I wish I had more when I went to university, is more of an open mind. I say I'm very open-minded now, but coming from Essex, it definitely was different to now. And what I'm trying to say is, please be open-minded. You're going to realise that where you come from, where you've lived your whole life, is most likely representative of a very small amount of people, and that everyone else is very different to you. These differences are what makes things so much greater. And at first I was like, oh my god, these people are so weird. So superficial when I started uni, it's disgusting. I was like, oh my god, their follower ratios are wrong. Like, what? That's actually what I thought was important. Just different cultures as well. I hadn't really met people from other cultures, so I just didn't really have any idea like what their normal was. It only took about a week for me to realise, oh my gosh, I love these people and I have something to learn from them. And that's one of the best things about uni. Meet people that you would have never met like normally, and that's what I'm so thankful for. This one is interesting. Be wary of, it's often well-meaning, people who have gone to uni for the social life rather than to work. They'll have a great time for 3 years, but oh, they'll come out of a third. They don't care, will make loads of friends along the way, but will end up dragging some of those friends down academically because they'll just invite them to too much stuff. I feel like this is actually a little bit harsh. Maybe because I'm triggered. I went out a lot. So I went out 5 to 6 times a week, first year and second year. And now I'm in third year. I don't think you should be wary of these people that just like going out. You definitely can do both. I don't know if that's recommended, but I had all my deadlines to the last minute. But I did get a 2-1. And this isn't saying that you should do that, because that's not a good idea, but I don't know about this. It's quite a personal one. Like, you should just be open to anyone. I understand this one from a different point of view, but Okay, this one says, try to take up a sport. Socials are great and playing a sport will help keep you fit and healthy too. Yes, I agree with this one. And this is actually one of my regrets about uni. I was so sucked into like all of the events in my flat. Was great. And every year I'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna do it this year. I just never get round to it because I was like too hungover from the freshers events. It will give you something to look forward to in the week. You'll meet a new group of people. I want to say that if you don't feel comfortable, you don't like going to something, and you're not looking forward to it, just quit. Don't do it anymore. You haven't got to be doing stuff that doesn't make you happy. And I think people think, oh, because that's the thing you got to do. You got to do society. You got to do sport things, and you got to be part of it. If you're not enjoying it, leave. And I want to extend this as well. And I think this is quite an important one to your living situation. So in first year, I got really lucky, and I really didn't think I would. Flat, 3 floors. We all were really close and got along. But I had friends that I made outside of my flat, and the majority of them did not like their flat. And they felt like it was just them, and they were just suffering for the whole year. It really ruined their experience. What I'd like to say is, you're not trapped to your uni flat, okay? If you don't like it, and you'll know pretty soon in, but give it a little chance, you can move. And this is a thing that people don't seem to understand. Ask and you will be moved into a new place, a new room, a different flat, and you start again. If you don't like it there, you can move again. If you're not happy there, just move. You haven't got to suffer in silence all year. Okay, join a society that interests you and actually go to it. Don't be afraid to turn up by yourself. Yeah, definitely, but you know, it's hard to turn up by yourself. I won't belittle that. It takes guts, and if you do that, be proud of yourself. That's really good. I don't think I could have done that first year. Literally anything that interests you. So I love space. There's actually a space society that I only found about my 3rd year. Society's for everything, and if you really like something, you're more likely to like the people that also really like that thing, because you're bonded by the same thing that you really like. Doesn't that make any sense? I'm sorry if it doesn't. This one as well I find a little bit pressurising. It says in first year you have lots of free time. Use it productively. Use it however you want to use it. If you want to just sit around with your flatmates and chill, if you want to go to all the events going on, if you want to get a job, if you want to start a YouTube, you want to literally just relax in the fact this year doesn't count and the other years you're going to be way more stressed out. Do whatever you bloody want. Yes, there is a lot of free time, but it depends what your course is. Like, I know there's a lot of courses where you don't have a lot of free time because they're really intense from the get-go. Okay, this one's quite important. It says, don't panic about starting next year's housing the minute you get back in January. It's always somewhere. The most popular places do get booked early. I agree with this. A lot of people rush in like as soon as Christmas is over, and they will get a better house, but doesn't mean it's so much better than the other houses, and there normally will be accommodation left. And I think it's probably more important to be living with people that you like and are comfortable with. I'd say 4, 5, 6 kind of houses are better than a 3. 2 or 3s are much more expensive for some reason. But we never checked in our 2nd year house as well, was the garden. So you want to know when the sun hits the garden? We didn't even look at that when we were looking around. We didn't even take pictures of it. Oh, also always take pictures of the house, because you will forget. You probably pick the rooms by doing it out of the hat or something like that, so you might end up with the one you want. But you know, if you're all really on good terms, that you get along really well, if you just say, I really want this room, can I have it, or should we do it this way? This year I literally just outright said I really want this room because it's got the biggest mirror, and everyone was just really calm with it and they let me have it. Just spending a whole year in this house, you want to be comfortable in it. Light is really important. Like, you don't want to be in a dark house, a dark room. Always clear your room and fridge of any food before you go home for the holidays. Oh god, yeah. Even like stuff that you don't even think would smell, like lettuce, it will stink. Last year we had maggots. Like a lot of maggots. It was common as well. This wasn't like a one-off. A lot of flats had this. I had an ant infestation recently here, and this house is very clean, but I left a honey out. Stuff that never happens to you at home will happen at uni. You just have to adapt to it quickly. One says, learn to cook from the very first day. It will save you so much money and will be so much healthier. Yeah, I didn't know how to cook when I went to uni. I had to sort of teach myself. But you also pick up a lot of skills from your flatmates and people around you. It says, look out for student drink deals, went out in clubs and take advantage of student discounts in shops. I miss it. This person says, yep, you'll get a student discount on everything, even like McDonald's. A lot of places will do it that you don't even realise, and they don't really promote it, it's just like the norm. Also, this one says, if you're definitely going to an event and early bird tickets are cheaper, get them. Yes. If you see the early bird tickets and you haven't got it, then when you go around to eventually buy your ticket, it's going to be last release and it's a lot more expensive, and you're just going to be annoyed at yourself. So if you definitely know you're going to an event, get the early bird, and you can always sell it. Even though your cool friends will wait and pay extra on the door. Okay, yeah, it will be more on the door. Some events don't actually have tickets on the door, like the big ones. So familiarise yourself with the value, smart price, basic ranges. Even the chocolate, which I really didn't think I'd ever think, really cheap 30p chocolate, there isn't much difference. There really isn't. So don't be a snob. One says freezing bread is a wonderful idea. Hell yes. I didn't know this was a thing, but it's a thing and it works, and I've been doing it ever since. I go to the shops late, by the way, that's when they do all the discounts. Early when it opens and before it closes when they have the discounts. And they'll do it on stuff that goes off, so like fruit, vegetables and bread. Get that bread that's gonna go off, back it in the freezer. It'll be like 20p for a loaf of bread. You're all good to go. Cider is probably the most cost-effective drink that can be measured sensibly. Yeah, but if you pre on cider, you're probably not going to go out to the club and get cider. You probably will get like spirit mixer, and then you're mixing, and then you're in very dangerous territory. Also, if you try not to gain loads of weight in first year, I'd say don't go ciders and beer or wine, because you need more of it to get drunk, and it's like highly calorific. Massive, epic, end of the world club nights are just an excuse to charge you over £10 for entry to somewhere that's usually free or a few pounds. This person doesn't like these. Yeah, the really like bigged up events that are more expensive normally aren't that good. They'll be really packed, but if you're a going outy person, are you gonna miss it? Because most likely everyone you know is gonna be there, and that really is the selling point. Okay, this one's an interesting one. Make an effort to go out and socialise for the first few weeks, even if you're not typically a social person. I do sort of agree with this. I'd say push yourself, because that's when you become stronger. But yeah, so 2 weeks I'd say. It will really benefit you to make friends early, particularly if you befriend the people you live with. Yeah, because people make friends quick, because they're all in the same situation, grateful that they can make that bond quickly. So you don't want to sit back and let everyone do that and come in, and it'll be even harder later on. I'm not saying there's loads of pressure to do this, but I would recommend that. If you're not a social going outy person, try it out. Like just once maybe, and if it's not for you, then you've done it. But not doing it, you will look back and be like, what if I did this? What if I done that? You're not like the only one that's thinking, oh my god, I need to make friends, I'm all on my own. Everyone is feeling like that. Honestly, you're all in the upper hand. This one says bring fancy dress stuff, it comes in handy even after Freshers Week. Yeah, this is true. I came with a fancy dress like box, and it came in really handy. Sweatbands for like 90s nights, high knee socks that could go golf or schoolgirl or anything like that, and animal prints, it all comes in handy. I didn't want to like spend loads of money on fancy dress, I didn't see the point of it, so I literally just went on Depop and just put in some random fancy dress stuff. So I put in animal costumes, police outfits, and I got all of them off Depop for really, really cheap. And then I've re-worn most of them for Halloween. So I had like a tiger outfit, like a full on like onesie thing, that was really cheap, and I've worn that for 2 years now. Hula outfits, like with the skirt and stuff like that. This is quite funny. Do not let someone feed you neat vodka through a funnel while sat on a spinning computer chair. This one is the most important. That's really funny. God, yeah. Whew. I mean, you'll have a crazy night. I think that's most stuff off of here. Let me know if you'd like anything else in the comments, and I shall reply to you. Like and subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.